Hey folks, Stu here, coming at you of all things Tuesday, June 21st. And today's story is kind of a sad thing. And truthfully, it's one of those things that kind of just, it sucks, okay? Young actor, 27-year-old Anton Yelchin, also known as Chekov in the reboot of Star Trek, has passed. And the reason why he passed was one of those unfortunate, stupid accidents that happened. He was the owner of a Jeep product, and it had been known to be under recall. Why? Because it wouldn't go into park with an electrically shifted transmission. Call me a purist, folks, okay? I like things when you pull something, it basically has like a interaction for like doing things that you know are going to be effing dangerous, okay? I heard just recently there's going to be a Nissan product that is going to have absolutely no interaction whatsoever between you as the steering person and the steering rack underneath will have wires running to it, and it'll be you working a control that then's going to take the motor and tell the motor, okay, turn forward, turn all this, no, stop, go back and forth, so don't do it too much, okay, I'm broken, I failed, and you're going, oh crap, as you're running into something. Now what happened to him was essentially he parked his vehicle, he thought it went into park. Well, it wasn't in park, it was in quasi neutral. Vehicle was running. He turned his back. Don't, folks, trust me on this one. Years and years and years of towing. If you are towing something or you have traffic coming at you, never, and I do mean ever, turn your back on that thing that is running or that traffic that is ongoing unless you really, 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 really want to visit your ancestors in the worst way possible, quick. Now, truthfully, they say that essentially what happened to him was he was walking away from his vehicle, going to his mailbox. Well, the vehicle then proceeded thusly in a state of idling, so he didn't hear a change of exhaust note over his shoulder. He knew the car was running. The car was running. He didn't register that the fact was running and getting louder as it's coming towards him with the Doppler, but it got him and basically sandwiched him between the car, him, and a brick wall, which was the enclosure for where his mailbox was located. Now, they say essentially he expired quickly, okay? I mean, essentially you get pancaked and he's either going to be traumatic injury, broken neck, basically suffocation by just being splatted by a 4,200-pound vehicle. Yeah, you're not going to breathe for a long time. You're basically going to expire rather quickly. Did it need to happen? No. Like I said previously, do not turn your back on a running vehicle. The other thing, too, is also he was characteristically not thinking things through the way you're supposed to do stuff. Even if you're driving an automatic and you put it in park and you think the car's going to stay put, he didn't apply his parking brake. Now, even me driving around an automatic, and this is habit, folks. I cannot do this without doing this. If I'm parking the car goes into park, the very next thing I do before I even think of turning it off is the emergency brake goes on, the parking brake, call it what you will. Both of those get locked in place, and then I remove my foot from the brake pedal and make sure the car doesn't budge. And it's not going to move much. It might take a little bit of slack off, and it might just jump just a tiny bit on like a really steep hill, but not much. Then you turn off the vehicle, or you leave the vehicle in operation. But you always do those things in concert. Always, especially if you're driving a stick shift. Manual transmissions do not stay put if you put them in gear. Sometimes, if you park them on the appropriate size hill, they can jump over the gear that it's in and start ding, 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 ding. Usually more when it's in like really, really heavy trucks. That's why heavy trucks basically have a situation where the air brakes lock down every single brake in the truck when you park the thing. And you're really, really unlucky. I'm going to give you guys kind of a story here. But one of the trucks that we drove, and I drove in the company, was a medium-duty international tow truck. Literally, to turn the engine off, you can turn the key off, and the engine's running. It won't stop running. There is a lever that you have to pull out that kind of looks like an air brake lever that runs a fuel cutoff and a decompression sequence to basically make the engine starve and cut off. That's the only way you stop some of these diesels. Also, in the older generations of diesels, they were known as a one-wire motor. You could turn the key off and it would keep on running, keep on running, keep on running. The only way you could turn it off is by having that one wire to the engine go, I'm turning off your gas, that's it. And it just starves out and stops. That's the way some engines work. Now, a gasoline engine sometimes if you have the appropriate setting, if you just park the thing in a high enough gear, it can jump the gear. If you park it in a low enough gear, read like first or reverse, it probably will stay put into perpetuity, even without a parking brake. But you never, ever, ever want to trust that. If you have kind of a wonky transmission, it can jump out of gear. If you have the appropriate setting where it's pointing downhill and somebody taps it with another car, dunk, 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 you know, and it's still moving, even though it's running the compression of the engine, it's still moving. Not safe. Use your parking brakes. This unfortunate accident could have been prevented. Also, I think that appropriately enough, Jeep and Chrysler are going to, or Fiat at this point, whoever owns Jeep, they are going to lose their ass. This was a preventable accident. The vehicle was under recall, and they killed this guy. Truthfully, they killed this guy. Ford some years ago, and I will not buy a new Ford because of this reason. I will not buy a new Ford. No matter how much I like the new Mustang, no matter how much I like that all aluminum body pickup truck, I will not buy a new Ford because years and years and years ago, they ran the insurance tables to figure out fatalities versus accident levels versus payouts and said, you know what? $70 per Pinto is going to cost too much versus paying out the how many people are going to die getting rear-ended and bursting into flames in the Pinto hatchback. That's right. Ford played with people's lives, using it as a financial aspect to not fix a known problem in the vehicle. Notice also that the Chevy Corvair died a very quick death after, unsafe at any speed came out. Yeah, Nader killed that car. If you talk to anybody that drives a Corvair, with the re-engineering of the rear suspension, which wasn't a lot, it made the car handle like crazy. And you could ask anybody that races a Corvair in the sports car circuit nowadays, they will tell you the Corvair is a little terror and it's a pain in the ass to catch because it is scary fast around corners. It handles like an American Porsche. All these things come into play. Well, if you don't take advantage of them or you don't use them correctly, or if you're not conscious of the fact that some things come back and bite you, they will. Anton Yelchin was not a hugely popular actor, but he was a popular actor in the aspect that people knew him from the Star Trek universe. He is going to be missed. He played an awesome Chekov. I mean, he was dead on perfect as Chekov. I enjoyed his appearances in both those movies that he appeared in, and he's truly going to be missed. Now, kind of a funny story, everybody's like, wow, man, he really nailed the Russian accent. Yeah, there's a reason why. Yelchin is a Russian name. His parents were figure skaters, I think, that jumped out of the Russian aspect of things and became American citizens, and so did he. So he knew how to basically fake a good Russian accent because his parents are Russian native speakers. All right, folks, I'm going to break off on this sad occasion and this sad note, but, Godspeed, Anton Yelchin, sir, you're going to be missed. I mean, you had a whole career full ahead of you, and you were popular, okay? People liked you. You were a known good guy, and as Pavel Chekov, you made a very good showing, and you'll be missed. I don't know how they're going to write you out and replace you with somebody else, because in some aspects, once you get somebody to be like a known good character actor, they could never replace, James Doohan as Scotty in the original one. It just never happened. So I'm going to think they're going to have a hell of a time replacing Anton Yelchin as Chekov. You, sir, shall be missed, and Godspeed. All right, this, folks, I'm going to break off. Eco Captain as always, you know you love it. Drive safe, park safe, and if there's something that has a recall and you guys basically get hosed because of it, I hope your family takes the manufacturer to task, because that is not acceptable in today's society. See you guys.